Let's talk now to Mark Cancian, retired US Marine Colonel and Senior Advisor at Washington Center for Strategic and International Studies. Welcome back to the programme, Mark. Good to see you. Lots to talk about. Let's begin in Lebanon, though, where Israeli strikes in Beirut are now being carried out in a wider area, aren't they? Why are they broadening this attack?
The continuation of what Israel has been doing for several weeks is attacks on Hezbollah. They are now attacking a broader set of targets. That we saw an attack on a clinic, for example. The Israelis described it as a precision attack, and that means that they meant to strike that clinic. They say that there were militants in it, and I wouldn't be surprised if there were a particular militant that they wanted to attack.
Well, let's talk about Israel and Iran. Israel promising to retaliate against Iran for those missiles that it launched on Tuesday. What form do you see that retaliation taking?
Well, this is a critical decision for Israel and for the Middle East, because back in April, when essentially the same thing happened, that is, Iran launched hundreds of missiles against Israel. Most of them were shot down. The damage was very modest. Israel retaliated, but it was almost pro forma. They attacked an air base that was mostly evacuated. They could do the same thing this time. Last time, it de-escalated the situation. Both sides stepped back. Israel could do that again, or they could try some escalation against Iran. We've heard about concerns that the leader might be struck. I find that unlikely, but not impossible. The nature of this retaliation will tell us a lot about where Israel wants the conflict to go.
Reports coming out also that another senior Hamas member was killed months ago. What do you make of the timing of this announcement?
It's hard to say. I think that it's possible they just confirmed it. It's also possible they wanted to remind people that there's still a war going on in Gaza, that the Israeli efforts down there have not let up, and that their intentions have not changed.
We're hearing also that Hezbollah intelligence headquarters have been hit. If that is the case, what difference could that make?
I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference. It doesn't sound like there's been a tremendous amount of damage. I think the Israelis will retaliate either to de-escalate, in other words, to do it pro forma, or to escalate and try to really hurt Iran. I think that this particular target doesn't really make a difference.
Well, let's talk about the possibility of de-escalation. Do you think there is still a diplomatic route to that, and who needs to get involved?
Well, outsiders can be helpful, particularly, for example, with humanitarian aid. That's been critical for Gaza. I think it will help Lebanon. Also, they can keep channels open, diplomatic channels, so that when an agreement is possible, that there's a mechanism for making it happen. But ultimately, this will be decided by Hezbollah and Iran. Israel has made it clear that they are not going to let up, that they are not going to accept any situation that allows continuing Hezbollah attacks on northern Israel, where they can't return their population to their homes. If Hezbollah and Iran decide that they've been damaged enough and want to rebuild, maybe they'll agree to a ceasefire. The ball, I think, is in their court.
Mark, good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us. That's Mark Cancian from Washington Center for Strategic and International Studies.